Police are investigating the tragic death of an 11-year-old boy who was shot during a prank gone wrong.
America, the liberal media is lying to you again, and this time their lies are getting people killed. They're calling it the door kick challenge, and it's an innocent prank gone wrong. But let me tell you what's really happening. These aren't kids just ringing doorbells and running away. They're violently kicking doors, sometimes with weapons, terrorizing families in their own homes. But here's what's gonna make you furious. When a homeowner defends themselves against what looks like a violent home invasion, the media blames the homeowner instead of the criminals who created this situation.
42-year-old Gonzalo Leon Jr. was arrested and charged with the murder of 11-year-old Julian Guzman. The boy's 10 and 11-year-old cousins were knocking and ringing doorbells late Saturday night.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story perfectly illustrates how mainstream media protects criminals while demonizing law-abiding Americans who are just trying to protect themselves. Let me break down what this door kick challenge actually involves, because the media is deliberately misrepresenting it to protect these criminals. This isn't ding dong ditch where kids ring a doorbell and run away. These are coordinated attacks where groups of teenagers violently run up and kick front doors, often carrying weapons, terrorizing the families inside their homes.
The threat outside this Tampa area home looks very real. A masked figure approaching the door, kicking it hard, then firing a weapon, which deputies say is an airsoft gun, before fleeing late last Friday night.
Look at this footage from Tampa. You have a masked figure approaching a door, kicking it as hard as he can, then firing what deputies say is an airsoft gun before fleeing. If you're inside the house, how are you supposed to know that that's an airsoft gun? How are you supposed to know this isn't a real home invasion?
The county sheriff's office says this incident, which has left the community shaken, is part of a growing prank trending on TikTok called the Door Kick Challenge.
This is Florida. We're allowed to carry, we're allowed to protect ourselves, our homes, our property, our children, our pets.
The sheriff's office says this incident has left the community shaken, and rightfully so. This isn't about pranks. This is about home invasion tactics being used for social media clout. Now let me tell you what happened in Houston, because this is where rubber meets the road. An 11-year-old boy was shot and killed while participating in a so-called prank. But here's what the media won't tell you. This kid died because he was playing stupid games with stupid friends. And unfortunately, stupid games win stupid prizes.
This morning, police are investigating the tragic death of an 11-year-old boy who was shot during a prank gone wrong.
Shooting just occurred for a little boy that was shot.
The boy was ding-dong ditching with his friends in a Houston neighborhood around 11 p.m. when they rang the doorbell of a house and ran off. Police say a witness saw a man run out of his house with a handgun, fired 2 to 3 gunshots, hitting one of the boys in the back. The boy was able to run about a block before he lost consciousness, then dropped on the street.
The boy was ding-dong ditching with friends in a Houston neighborhood Saturday night when around 11:30 p.m. they rang the doorbell of this house and ran off. Then police say a witness saw a man run out of the house with a handgun, firing 2 to 3 gunshots, hitting one of the boys in the back.
Listen, I'm not celebrating death of an 11-year-old kid, but let's be honest about what happened here. If someone is violently kicking my door late at night, I'm going to think that somebody's trying to break in. That's self-defense. This kid died because he was hanging around dumb friends doing dangerous things that terrorize innocent families. The homeowner in this case, Leon Gonzalo, was charged with murder and is facing up to life in prison. Now, I'll be honest with you here. The fact that this kid was shot in the back makes it a harsh conviction. Unfortunately, the details show the kid was running away when he was shot, which makes it harder to justify his self-defense.
A tough story, though, and it's a developing situation. Charges now filed after the shooting death of an 11-year-old boy who was playing ding-dong ditch.
This is a prank where you ring a doorbell and then run away, and this time it turned tragic.
But here's what the defense attorneys are saying about the Texas self-defense laws. If you look at the bottom part of the self-defense laws in the code, it says you can use deadly force if somebody has stolen from you and you have reasonable belief that you're not going to be able to get it back. But simply ringing the doorbell or kicking a doorbell and running away, if you know the person's fleeing the scene, hasn't taken anything, hasn't broken into your house, no forcible entry, there's no threat, I don't see any self-defense.
42-year-old Gonzalo Leon Jr. was arrested and charged with the murder of 11-year-old Julian Guzman. Leon appeared in court today for the first time. Police say the suspect, an Army veteran, opened fire on 2 boys in this East Houston neighborhood.
The legal reality is complicated. Texas has strong self-defense laws, but shooting somebody in the back while they're running away is going to be very difficult to justify legally. However, the bigger question is, why are we putting homeowners in this position in the first place? The liberal media is framing this as an innocent prank gone wrong, but the narrative is getting people killed. They're deliberately downplaying the violent nature of these attacks to protect the criminals and demonize law-abiding homeowners who are just trying to protect their families and their homes.
It's just so heartbreaking and sad.
George Skinner lives just 2 houses down the street, where Houston police say a middle-aged man opened fire on a group of kids ding-dong ditching late Saturday night.
Look at how they frame this. Middle-aged man opened fire on a group of kids. It makes it sound like some crazy guy just started shooting innocent children for no reason. They don't mention that these kids are terrorizing neighborhoods late at night, potentially kicking doors and creating the impression of a home invasion.
And there's no way you can mistaken that kid for somebody grown, and that's what hurts so bad.
Neighbors say there's no way you can mistake that kid for somebody grown. But this gentleman misses the point entirely. When someone is violently attacking your door late at night, you're not conducting a detailed age assessment. You're responding to what appears to be a violent threat to your family and your safety. This isn't just about ding dong ditch anymore. The door kick challenge has escalated to include weapons, masks, and coordinated attacks that are undistinguishable from actual home invasions. In Fort Worth, Texas, over 21 incidents were reported in the recent months. In Chandler, Arizona, one home was targeted at least 18 times, forcing the residents to move out.
Night, police in the West Metro are investigating a prank that's putting homeowners on edge, and it's all caught on camera.
In Minnesota, police are investigating incidences where suspects are trying to kick doors instead of just trying to ring doorbells. Neighbors report being hit dozens of times, with police using searchlights to look for the perpetrators. Some of the suspects are even carrying paintball guns and driving distinctive vehicles.
Lauren, it's a spin on the old ding-dong ditch that some of us may have done when we were younger, but instead of ringing doorbells and running away, the suspects are trying to kick in those doors. And in a similar case across the country, it's already turned deadly.
Police departments across the country are warning that this trend is not only criminal and a nuisance, but it can turn out deadly. As one officer put it, if they knock on the wrong door, they might get shot. And that's exactly what happened in Houston. Let me explain the reality of home defense, because the media clearly doesn't understand it. When somebody violently attacks your door late at night, you have seconds to make a life or death decision. You don't have time to determine if it's a prank or a real home invasion. You don't have time to assess the age of the attacker. You have to respond to the threat as it appears.
Neighbors like the one here warning the practical jokes could end in tragedy.
It's going to be life or death. It really can be. And your mom's not going to want to have to cry your eulogy about it. So think next time.
This is exactly right. These aren't harmless pranks. They are potentially life or death situations.
Reported incidents of the challenge popping up not just in Florida, but in Minnesota and California too. It's sort of like Ding Dong Ditch, but much more aggressive, daring teens to go up to a random door, kick it hard, and then flee.
The media calls it sort of like Ding Dong Ditch, but much more aggressive. But that's a massive understatement. Violently kicking somebody's door late at night while potentially carrying weapons is not a prank. It is an assault and a terroristic threat. Here's the question the media won't ask. Where was this 11-year-old's parents at 11:30 p.m. on Saturday night? Why was an 11-year-old child out terrorizing neighborhoods instead of being home in bed? This tragedy could have been prevented if the adults in this kid's life had been doing their actual job.
This isn't the first time a ding-dong ditch prank has turned violent. Last month, a similar case happened in Fort Worth and in Frisco, where police there say 3 teenage boys nearly lost their lives.
Police departments are begging parents to talk to their kids about the dangerous challenges. As one Arizona police department put it, we want to encourage parents to speak to their teens about the dangers and potential criminal charges associated with participating in this challenge.
But those kicks can be extremely loud.
I was just asleep and I just woke up startled and scared and Just wanted to make sure I get my kid out the way.
And they can cause damage, like in this other Florida incident in Volusia County, where you can see the door hanging open after the teens run away.
Look at the impact on this family. I was asleep, I woke up startled and scared, and I just wanted to make sure to get my kids out of the way. These attackers are traumatizing innocent families, causing property damage, and creating dangerous situations that can end in tragedy. America, this Houston shooting is a tragedy that was completely preventable. An 11-year-old boy is dead because he was playing stupid games with stupid friends. And unfortunately, stupid games win stupid prizes. The liberal media's narrative that this was an innocent prank gone wrong is not only false, it's dangerous. The door knock challenge isn't ding dong ditch. It's violent attacks on homes that are indistinguishable from actual home invasions. When masked figures are violently kicking your front door late at night, sometimes while carrying weapons, this isn't a prank. I knew something like this was going to happen. Unfortunately, this kid had to die before people started taking this seriously. The conviction of the homeowner is harsh, and the fact that this kid was shot in the back makes it legally problematic. But the real question is, why are we putting homeowners in impossible situations where they have to make a split-second decision about threats to their family? Parents need to start taking responsibility of their children. An 11-year-old should not be out at 11 p.m. terrorizing neighborhoods. The media needs to stop protecting criminal behavior by calling violent attacks innocent pranks. And these social media platforms need to stop promoting dangerous challenges that get people killed. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.